All right. We back? Hey, look at that. Still getting 30% dropped frames. God damn it. Oh, I'm so mad. All right. Well, we're just going to have to power through this, guys. I freaking hate the internet. I hate the internet so much. It's the worst thing. The worst invention in human history. The goddamn internet. What the hell is going on here? Oh boy. All right. The only thing I can hope is that it just starts working. What's the worst? Interwebs? Yeah. The internet is the worst. I hate the internet more than I hate anything else in the universe. Yeah, I'm getting about half the upload speed that I should be getting. That I was getting last night, that I was getting earlier this morning. So I don't know. Internet's just jacked, I guess. But still, this should be plenty. Yeah, getting terrible. Damn. This is the worst. The backup server seems even worse than the first one. And I'm getting texts like crazy now too here. My wife just sent me her Wordle scores. Okay. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to blame you if you want to drop. Probably going to be a lot of buffering, a lot of quality issues. But if you want to hang out with chat or whatever, maybe I'll try streaming again later as well. But well, let's just see how this goes for a little bit. Right now, I am working on 50% dropped frames. I don't know if I can stream like this. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. You haven't seen one buffer yet? Okay. Okay. Well, we'll just power through it, I guess. Yeah, I have my bitrate set to 6 megabits per second. You just saw that I'm getting 50. The upload speed test is pretty terrible. Upload speed test for this connects to where the YouTube servers supposedly are. It kind of spoofs what that is. So this is a connection in California somewhere. So maybe the internet in California is borked. I don't know. It seems like it's all of it. So we'll just go through with it, I guess. Yeah. All right. So news stories. Oh, I saw the wind slip in there. Ooh, the wind slipped in. Just catch up on chat here. Dropped frames are we can see fine. Okay, it'd just be kind of choppy. You're probably getting less than 30 frames per second. We have a freeze warning, but that is until tomorrow. Yeah, we have a freeze warning this weekend too. We had it earlier in the week. It did get cold. Finally getting cold. Okay, so the Bethesda, well, no, it wasn't Bethesda. It was a Microsoft Developer Direct was happening this week earlier. We got some news from Bethesda. We had a showcase of Doom: The Dark Ages. They also announced Ninja Gaiden 4, the new Ninja Gaiden game, which I don't know. They must just be partnering with Microsoft for marketing on this one, because I think that's coming to all platforms. And then Phantom Blade Zero on the PS5. So a lot of good action gaming coming out. Negative temps all week and still no pants. Yeah. Well, go ahead and brag about it. Brag about how cold your weather is compared to ours. Paras is here. Welcome, Paras. Yeah, we're having more internet issues. We haven't had them for a few weeks since I've upgraded my internet, but now it's like it's acting up again today. All kinds of tech issues today. Anyway, let's go ahead and play Doom: The Dark Ages. So this isn't really role-playing game related, but it does come from Bethesda. So I know we have gamers here who play all kinds of games. I'm a big fan of the Doom series from 2016. The Doom reboot that happened there, that was top-notch quality FPS gaming. And then Doom Eternal was an upgrade to that game. And there's a theme for each one of these, right? So Doom 2016, they were trying to revamp the run and gun action of just like the basic shooting mechanics, making sure you could move well, making sure that everything was working accurately. And then Doom Eternal added like a combo system in, kind of a rock, paper, scissors, how the enemies are going to defend certain things. So you got to use certain other weapons and attacks to take down their armor before you kill them. And it also did add in a lot of like platforming stuff, air dashing, double dashing, things like that. So there was a lot of platforming in Doom Eternal. This one, they say they're going to refocus on just standing your ground and shooting. It's going to add a parry mechanic that we saw, a couple new, or actually 3 new melee weapons. See that's the parry mechanic that causes a stun. And then, of course, they're still going to give you your shotguns and your rocket launchers. Chainsaw shield, and then there's the bone chip fully automatic heavy machine gun that they were showing there too. And of course you got the Mick Gordon, or actually no, they're not using Mick Gordon anymore because that guy's suing Bethesda for back pay that he supposedly didn't get, and that's ongoing drama. Whole lot of shit nobody knows about that except for Bethesda, Microsoft, and Mick Gordon. So they got a new guy doing the soundtrack for this one, but it still sounds very badass. And you get a new Doom Guy mech. This is actually a prequel, so this is what happened before Doom 2016, back with the different Templars and stuff that they were the very badass people before the apocalypse. Hey, there's Ireshot. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Doom Rim. Yeah, indeed. I have seen a couple of Doom Guy builds in Skyrim. I don't know how well it fits, honestly. You just got to crank up the violin settings for all the kill cams and, just get in there with your big double-handed sword and try to cause as much gore as possible, I suppose. Okay, so the big kind of corner piece of the showcase this week was a new Ninja Gaiden game was announced. I love the Ninja Gaiden games all the way back to NES. I played through and beat Ninja Gaiden 1. Then Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 on the NES anyway got a little kind of cheaply difficult. You had to really kind of exploit game mechanics to get through it. But Ninja Gaiden 1 was really well balanced, difficult, but a lot of fun. And then they did a reboot for the original Xbox. But I played the PlayStation 3 rebalance of that called Ninja Gaiden Black. They did a really good sequel to that, Ninja Gaiden 2. And Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was actually just shadow dropped on pretty much all platforms, I think. So you can go grab that and play it if you want to. I never played that one, so I'm looking forward to it. And then, so they just kind of announced this out of nowhere. This is Koei Tecmo. Ninja Gaiden 3, by the way, was panned universally by everybody. It was a pretty bad game, but they had lost a lot of creative talent. But since Team Ninja, Tecmo Koei Ninja, Team Ninja has kind of righted the ship. They released Neo and Neo 2, which were both pretty universally praised for being really good games. And they're doing this in collaboration with Platinum. So Platinum Games, they're very top tier character action game developers. They did Bayonetta and a number of other things too. I think they did the gameplay for Nier Automata. So they're brought in just to make sure that the combat systems make sense. The combat and the action is fun and frantic and well paced and everything. And they probably will help with the character design a little bit. So, Ireshot said something about Ryu. Yeah, the main character in all of the Ninja Gaiden games is Ryu Hayabusa, but we got a new guy here, and I don't remember his name. Maybe it says in the description. Nah. But I'm getting like Metal Gear Solid 2 Raiden vibes with this guy. I think it's going to piss off a lot of Ninja Gaiden fans. It'll be good. People are going to be pissed. That's the story of the games industry with pretty much every new game that comes out now. Game's good, people are pissed off about it. But this one does have Ryu in it as well. So we have 2 different characters. Maybe they're just highlighting the new guy because he's new and they want to get new players. But for the old heads, they got Ryu Hayabusa in there as well. So yeah, we're going to get some classic ninja action here. It looks like all the cutscenes are well done. It looks very stylish, very fast. The gameplay that they showed looks like it's really, really coming along nicely. it looks like a complete 180 from Ninja Gaiden 3, which did not have good action. It was kind of just a slow plod, a lot of one-on-one encounters here and there, and it just didn't work well. But yeah, looking forward to that. I don't know if that's coming this year or not, but they did announce it, so it must be getting pretty close. As long as Ryu is actually in it. Yeah, he's more than in it. You can play him in it, so yeah, that's good. A new guy, yeah, right. Everybody hates the new guy. Okay, so Phantom Blade. This one was showed off last year, I think, in some Game Fest or something like that. A lot of people were cautiously optimistic about this. They said that there was a lot of polish that had to be done with this one. But now they've released this footage, and everybody's kind of saying, okay, yeah, I'm all in on this game now. So this is a boss fight. This looks like it's 4 or 5 different guys that you're fighting. 6, I guess, from what I counted. But this is all actually kind of one boss. If you look, they're all very in tune, very choreographed with each other. And then you can single them out and fight each one singly. But the rest of them kind of like, the AI in this is like really good. Like you can single out 1 or 2 guys, but then the rest of them will continue on with their choreography. And then when you move on to the next character or the next model, the rest of them will kind of like reform into their choreographed boss form. And I'm not playing the music right now, so you can hear me over the game sound. But the sort of like 6-way stab that they do all at you at the same time, that's choreographed with the music. So this is a super creative boss, one that I'm not even playing it. I'm like super impressed with the creativity, like the ingenuity, and just technically how they're making all this stuff work. I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite like this in terms of boss mechanics before. And you can kind of see the strings on some of these guys are like marionette puppets. So yeah, this looks really, really cool. And then let's see if I can show the next phase of the boss here. There's a cutscene. So once you kind of get the life bar on this phase of the boss down, yeah, the freaking back spinning kick into the sword, sending them into the enemy as a projectile attack. Super stylish. So phase 2 here. Now all of these dudes are climbing up on their platforms, and they're going to puppeteer together a larger other dude. And then the music. I gotta play the music here. This looks cool as hell. I'm excited. So the developers said that they wanted, they really liked the Souls-like level, like the Dark Souls level design, but they weren't a big fan of the combat. So they wanted like more Devil May Cry, Platinum Games, Metal Gear Revengeance type gameplay, but they wanted the Dark Souls level design. So that's kind of the vibe that they're going for here. Yeah, so you have these parry mechanics, obviously. You have a dodge mechanic. You have all kinds of moves that you can do. I don't know if I've seen him like repeat a move yet. So the other thing about this game is not this weapon, but the next weapon that he switches to is like is weapon number 27. So there's going to be a ton of weapons, ton of move sets, a lot of different combos. Weapon switching is a thing too, I think. So yeah, they're very much on the right track with this one. PS5 exclusive, I think. And most of the PS5 stuff is coming out for PCs. And Sony actually does a really good job with their PC ports, by and large. I don't know that they've released a bad one yet. So that's pretty good. Yeah, good stuff. So that was all pretty much just action gaming for news, but that the first 2 games came from that Microsoft Developer Direct, and then Bethesda had Doom coming out, which is always a sure thing. I'll be pre-ordering Doom for sure, and I'll be waiting for PC performance numbers and stutter reports for Ninja Gaiden 4 and Phantom Blade 0. If they're stuttering on PC, I'll just play it on PS5. Okay, let's move on to the mod showcase, huh? Imagine a Mick Gordon DDR game. Man, we would all be like in pain from that. That would actually physically hurt, I think. You know what we could use right about now? New Devil May Cry. Yeah, Devil May Cry 5 came out not too long ago. It was, oh geez, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago at this point. But it was really, really good, and I want to get back to it. Great PC port on that one, by the way. Worked flawlessly. I loved every second of it. But yeah, Devil May Cry, great series. I wouldn't mind seeing a new one. Capcom has its hands full right now. Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out, I think, at the end of February, and that looks absolutely phenomenal too. I've never been much of a Monster Hunter fan, but I might wait for a sale on that one. All right, so let's look at some mods here. First one, geez. First one is a Cold Foreigner outfit. So you have all the different body types here too. This is a male and female outfit, even though the female outfit is more heavily showcased here. But yeah, this one looks like it has layers. I don't know if the coat is a separate piece or it's just a separate item altogether, the armor with the coat. I wouldn't be surprised if the coat and the muffler there that you see around the neck, the scarf, is separate. That'd be cool if it is. But the underneath outfit looks cool on its own for like a Nightblade character. Or Dark Mage or Assassin or something. And then we have a more sleeker coat here. The gauntlets look good with the embellishments for the jewels. And then here's the male outfit, which fits well. Sometimes the male model of the gear, you can tell that they were kind of made for a female 3D model because of the way like the neckline works and everything. But this one looks really good actually on a male body. So for either gender, works great. Looks really good. So that one caught my eye. And I haven't seen this one. I don't think this one was on the top mods for very long anyway. I don't want to go to the top mods because there might be some nudity on there. I don't want my stream to get dinged for that. The next one, there was only two. They were both armors. I've actually been recommended this on Discords here and there for my Cleric character. It is the armor of the Golden Order. This one's been making the rounds a little bit. This one looks cool, very high quality, right? It's just, it's really bulky, right? That's kind of one of my, I guess, a pet peeve about armor in Skyrim, especially a lot of the vanilla armor. It's very like big and bulky, and it almost looks like it would go better in World of Warcraft or Kingdoms of Amalur than it would in my dark, gritty, based in reality Skyrim. I like equipment, both armor and weapons, to have like a reality base to them. The sort of like more cartoony, high fantasy, LARPy looking stuff, I don't like the way it looks in my game. I like the more based to reality weapons. And then with like the perks and the gameplay and spells and stuff, you can get a little crazy and do things that are very out of the realm of possibility, and I'm okay with that. It creates like this cool dichotomy of real, based in reality, gritty, grimy, dirty, realistic melee physical combat, and then when you switch over to magic, then it gets a little like crazy and out of this world, you know. So yeah, pretty cool. This might, like I said, this is very high quality. It looks cool. It doesn't fit in my game in my current load order or my tastes really, but as I said, this has been making the rounds. A lot of people really like this set. So if it will fit one of your characters, go ahead and grab it. The wings on your shoulder, when you raise your arms, you're gonna poke that. Yeah, you're gonna decapitate yourself depending on how hard these these plates are. And then if you like move your head, you're basically tunnel vision. These are blinders, right? You can't see to your side. I mean, whatever. Doesn't bother me much, but armor that practically screams warrior. Yes. Golden armor is cool, but a little much. I've never been a fan of the Warcraft fantasy. Yeah, I mean, it works fine for me in the context of Warcraft, right? If I'm playing Warcraft and everything looks like this, it's fine, but I've kind of really leaned more heavily into more realistic armor in my game. A thief in heavy armor is basically a crusader. Well, yeah, a real-life crusader, yes. Those guys did more pillaging than the Vikings, I think, in the name of religion. In terms of Elder Scrolls classes, not so much, but yeah, IRL, for sure. Okay, let's see here. Was that it? I think that was the last thing. Let me just double check. And I didn't really have a community showcase this week. Yeah. I guess the only other thing is I dropped my warrior build guide here. It's doing really well. Let me show you guys off here. I got, let's see. Oh, no, I can't even see it. Here we go. 1.2 thousand views. The algorithm liked it. Pushed it out to a wider audience, working back up. Made $2 off of it. Look at that. And gained 7 subscribers. So yeah, it's still cooking. Really good. And I believe, I don't know that this is the first one that this has happened with, but still with 100% like ratio. I've never, well, rarely, I won't say never. I've rarely had a video do this well with this many views in this short amount of time and have everybody not leave an unlike on it, no thumbs downs on it. So that's really cool. I'm proud of that. It's going well. Next one will be the mage, and that one will come faster than the that's what she said. This one will come out faster than the warrior did, just because I've been kind of working on all these at the same time. And then the thief will come after that, and then the triumvirate cleric after that. All right, let's get into some thief gameplay, huh? $2. You can get a bottle of Coke at a supermarket if you have a membership. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And that's after, you know, literally hundreds of hours. You know, people just dislike it to do it. Oh, yeah, no, I don't ever take it personally with the dislikes. I just, you know, this one was ubiquitously liked. So, yeah. Even if I do get a dislike on it, I'm not going to be butthurt about it. A thumbs down never ruined my day. At the end of the day, it's all good for the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, because it counts as engagement. If a lot of people are thumbs downing a video, that means that they're engaging with the video. And if they're engaging with the video, they're probably, you know, spending time watching it. So YouTube can actually sell advertisement time on the downvoted videos as well. So, yeah, I'm not bothered. The thumbs down would be bots who put thumbs down on a build video. I don't know. People dislike things for all kinds of different reasons. And I will be the first to admit that not every video I put up is my best effort. Sometimes I put a video up because it's what I have time to do, and it's been a while since I put a video up, and that's where a lot of the gameplay, pure gameplay like music video stuff comes out. And those get very low viewership regardless, but they tend to get more dislikes than likes anyway, but whatever. I don't really care. I just gotta keep my channel relevant just to remind people that I'm still here sometimes when it takes hundreds and hundreds of hours to create a build video. Thumbs down. Yep. Okay. So let's get back into the thief. I've made one mod change. I think it was Ireshot 2 weeks ago called me out on my metronome tail, so I went and got a physics enabled tail for collects many things here. Yeah, that thing's going wild. It's a little fatter than I would like. And then I had to move my arrows to my back, the quiver to the back, because when it was on the hips, it was just, the tail was clipping right through it, and I couldn't tell if that was more or less distracting than having a metronome tail, you know? Oh yeah, fat, it's PHAT, right? She's underage, by the way, guys. Collects many things here. She's 15 years old, so no thirsting after the underage Argonian, okay? You don't want to be that guy. The tail is kind of wild, a bit too much. Yeah, it's a lot, but the other one was distracting too. I haven't decided which one I like better. This one at least moves kind of like a tail. The other one was just stiff as a board, especially when you would run. This one looks a lot better when you run. The other one was, it was really stiff and it was just... Don't lewd the lizard lolly. Yes, indeed. Good call. Always a good policy to live by. Slap that poor guard in the dick. Yeah, that's the other thing, is like, I could do like a tail whip with this thing. Whoopsh. Whoopsh. It doesn't cause damage. Actually, I don't think it interacts with other physical objects at all, so I can't.
What can I do for you?
Take it, take it. Oh, okay.
As if Skyrim
Now stuttering and buffer. Yeah, I just got a huge frame dip here. I don't know what to do about it, guys. We are dropping frames. Yes, we are. Holy crap. It was working pretty well for a while there. It was down to 20% dropped frames instead of 50% dropped frames, and now it's spiking. Blame the tail. Yeah, the physics is too much to handle. The physics were too much to handle. Well, this is weird because I'm going between like 3 megabits per second up and 8 megabits per second up right now. So it's spiking and then dipping. I mean, I guess I could set this down to about 4 megabits per second. Well, let's try that. I shouldn't have to reset the stream for this. I'm just gonna set my bitrate down to 4 megabits. That should calm down. It's the video quality is going to be rough, a little rougher, but it should calm the buffering down a little bit. There we go. All green for the last few seconds at least. We got our dropped frames percentage going back down. All right. Hopefully that stays stable. I can't really do any less than 4 megabits. The tail is killing the stream. I think it's because I told everybody not to thirst after the teenage lizard, and I probably got DDoSed from angry thirsty lizard lovers. Might be what's going on there. Okay. What are we doing? Okay, a couple weeks ago, the plan was to get into the Dwemer Museum and take on the whole Dwemer research facility that Calcelmo has with his nephew. We spent the entire stream, I think, plotting a escape route through the sewers. So that's still clear. We're good there. We also had to kill Nimi, the giant frostbite spider, in the dwarven excavation that Calcelmo was working on for him to give us free access to the
Don't you just want to
Dwarven
scratch
Museum.
it behind the ears?
As an Argonian, Cole is no fan of Khajiit, really. She'll tolerate them if they're nice to her. But she does not appreciate the scratching behind the ears of a fellow beast race person. We're people, Zora. We're not animals, we're people. You can't treat us like pets. Okay. So we should be all set up here. What time is it? 1:51 p.m. I think we're gonna wait till nightfall just in case we have to make a quick escape somewhere. We don't want to have to dodge through crowded streets to do it. Also, having the cover of darkness at night might mean the difference between life and death when we come out of this research laboratory here. Have to jump down the waterfall and hit the manhole here running. We may not even have to escape through the sewer. We might be able to just walk right out the front doors, but
everything's in order.
got to plan for things going wrong and hope that things go right. Okay, So I think we're all good. How are we doing on septums? Pretty good. We can go check to see if the different vendors and stuff have any good enchantments or items that we might need.
Need a new blade?
The thief does not craft anything for themselves. Well, they might, but we're not putting any perks into smithing, enchanting, or alchemy. I'll definitely use them. You kind of have to at high difficulty levels. But I'm not investing any perks into them. That's where the pure part of the pure thief comes in. We're only working on the thief skills here. Restoration, don't really care about restoration. This is not the pure impossible Argonian challenge run that Boone or Slack are doing right now. Increased stamina might be nice, but not really worth 821 septums just to get the enchantment. Undead Flea, not really worth the cost, I don't think. Yeah, alright. Nothing really here that strikes my fancy. What kind of arrows you got? I'll take the elven arrows.
All right.
And then how are we doing on healing potions? I think we're good. Ton of healing potions. Stamina potions? I don't know why, but I always keep spending in-game currency money except for Skyrim. Yeah, everybody's kind of opposed to spending money in Skyrim. That's because crafting is so good in this game, and also you can mostly get what you need, especially in BGS games, Fallout games, Elder Scrolls games. Pretty much everything up to, but not including Fallout 76 and Starfield, because they kind of revamped the itemization system in that, the loot system. Much to my chagrin, I like the old system better, where anything that you see on any enemy you can pick up and take it for yourself. So there's not really a whole lot of need to buy gear. Phone call, I'm going to let that go to voicemail. There's not really much need to buy gear when you can just go loot it off of dead enemies, right? But
and clean rooms.
there are lots of things that, especially if you're looking for rare gear, you just expand your pool of high-level gear with really powerful enchantments on it. If you're checking the vendors every time you go into town, just it's all random loot and it's all leveled. Oh my god, that guy sounds terrible. It's so annoying. And everybody's like standing around him.
This is the Silver Blood Inn. I'll let you figure out who
Trick
owns
arrows is an
it
archery, right?
yourself.
Should be allowed. Yes, indeed. And I would like to do trick arrows. I actually want to talk about that a little bit.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Kind of want to do a build where I don't loot dead bodies, just the treasures. Yeah, I try to limit what I loot from dead bodies in a lot of playthroughs.
I understand.
Some characters will have like a moral code that doesn't allow them to, you know, leave naked bodies all over the place. They will leave their dead enemies with some honor, with some dignity.
Probably
Oops,
our customer
did
needs a
not.
drink.
Jesus.
Too lazy to
I was trying to
get
close the
up
door
yourself.
and the selection switched to the chair at the very last split second.
You want a drink?
No.
I should remind Clepper to clean this place up.
Gonna take a nap. Got a lot of sun on my scales today. Okay. All right. We'll sleep till 10 p.m. It doesn't need to be super late. We don't need everybody to be asleep. We just need the roads to be a little bit more clear and it to be dark out. Honed metal only trick arrow sounds expensive. Yes, you'll need a lot of money for that if that's what you want to do. Also, I don't know if the honed metal vendors will have the different elemental salts that you need to craft a lot of those.
Can you come here? I want to ask you a question.
Where are you? Or Zora, what is it?
I'm right here.
I know. You wanted to talk to me?
That skull at the inn has a very rough voice, much different from that of Sven. Which do you prefer?
Sven or Augment? Well, I prefer the company to this Augment guy, but Sven, I believe, has a better singing voice.
Oh? Are you saying that because you fancy Sven? My, I didn't know my hero was also my competition.
Oh, you like Sven?
Well, my lady, you can have him. Although
I don't
first
want
I
him.
have to deal with Camilla. Or does she like Fendel? I forget who is in love with who. Either way, we are
Who is in love
truly
with
blessed to
whom,
have so
Zora?
many talented bards around us.
Grammar lessons from a lizard. Oh, definitely. Argonians are not known for their singing voices. So you enjoy music?
I enjoy listening to it. Singing not so much. If I want to sing a melody, I have to make sure no one else is around. I don't want to get a bounty or be accused of being a dragonborn when people start collapsing in agony.
You hear this voice actress in Maids 2 Deception, which was my first quest mod. Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever played that one. But yeah, there's it's funny because a lot of the vanilla voices get like recycled amongst all the NPCs, but the voice acting community for Skyrim mods is also pretty tight-knit and kind of small world, so you start hearing a lot of the same actors and actresses amongst the mods too, so it's like those voices keep getting recycled as well. At least in that context, they're new voice lines, they're saying different things. So there's that at least. Okay, let's check our needs here. We're gonna be well rested. We're a little bit hungry and we're pretty thirsty, so we'll save the skooma for when we're actually out of here. Okay. Should be good there. Maids 2 is kind of anime-ish, but is lore-friendly. It's been around for a while. I've definitely seen it. Was not really my kind of thing. The quest mods I like are kind of like how I like my armor and weapon mods too. Dark and gritty and kind of based in reality, at least of the world that we're adventuring here. I personally tend not to put too much overly anime stuff in my game, but I'm not gonna think any less of you if that's what you want to do. There's some anime that I really like. Mostly some of the newer stuff. I wanna try Berserk at some point. A lot of people really like that one, and I've seen like music videos and stuff that feature the art from that show, and it looks really, really cool. And then I watched like the Castlevania stuff on Netflix, which was really, really good. We should just be able to walk into the museum here. Guard shouldn't hassle us. We have permission to be here from Calselmo. Oh. Let's see. Zora. Let's plant her somewhere where we might need her. We'll tactically... Let's plant her next to the manhole cover, the sewer entrance, for the Great Escape here. Berserk, oh, is there like nudity and sex and stuff in it? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. And the only other person who's gonna see it is my wife. She'll tease me about it a little bit, but she ultimately won't care. Zora, I need you to stake out this escape route for us. Hey! Will you please come here? Oh, for the love of... The Hist. Oh, speaking of the Hist. %48.6%. Okay.
Ready to move?
I am gonna plant you somewhere here, friend. I need you to do something for me.
Of course. What would you ever do without me? Okay.
Just kind of casually, just wait here.
Alright.
There we
Anything else?
Nope, that's it. All followers are waiting. There you go. Okay. Here we go. We have our... Oh, yeah. I messed around with the equipment sets off camera as well, off stream. So I have one equipment set for my bow, and then I have it auto-equip the ebony arrow there. And then another one for my crossbow for actually dealing damage. And then I only have the steel bolts for this. I think I might have more bolts. Let's see. Yeah, I do. Look at that. Not many, though. Put the silver ones in there, I guess. Everything else is too limited to actually use. Silver bolts. We're going to group that over here. Toggle focus to that. We're going to do that and that. Save the equip status. Boom. Okay, so now I have steel bolts equipped with the crossbow, and then if I switch to my bow with the hotkey, my bow equip set, it automatically equips the ebony arrows now instead of whatever my lowest tier arrow is by default. So that's good. I don't have to, whenever I switch from crossbow to bow, I don't have to go and switch to the arrow that I want. It just puts, it's a better default. And then if I go to crossbow, it switches to my steel bolts instead of the silver bolts, which would be the more powerful one. Yep, all good. But I do want to have the Bow of Shadows available here because I need the invisibility from it. And since we're not casting illusion spells, the Bow of Shadow is our most consistent and like on-demand form of invisibility, which should help, right? Berserk is ultra-violent. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind that either. The rape horse. Oh my god. That sounds awful. Let's not continue down that thread just because I don't want chat to go down the terms of service. YouTube terms of service. Well there. Berserk looks at everything you hold sacred and throws it into the wood chipper before resurrecting the chunky remains to piss in your eyes. Sounds like a great Friday night. Oh, thanks, Magus. Yeah, likes do help. Hell, if you don't like it, go ahead and click the down, thumbs down button because even that helps with the algorithm. Oh, these guys are too easy. Okay, let's try to focus on the job at hand here. There is the Dwemer puzzle cube that we're going to try to get. We do have a level up. We can't forget to take advantage of that. We did get killed last time by an unleveled Falmer or swarm of Falmer. Shadow of Skyrim respawned us at the Silverblood Inn, and then when we killed our nemesis, it did not give us a reward power. I don't know if a script just didn't proc for me or what, but yeah, we'll get them next time, I guess. Let's try to stick to the shadows.
Serious? You heard me, Captain. Our work must not be disturbed. Kill any intruders on sight. Call for backup if you need it. But let no one...
We're gonna do this as pacifist as possible. With all the dark here, this might be really hard to see on YouTube with the lower bitrate. Since I went down to 4 megabits upload though, 4 megabits bitrate, I don't know that I dropped any frames. I'm down to 14%, down from almost 50, so that's good. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about perks and stuff here in a minute. That's a little bit of a double whammy. So you can unsheath your Bow of Shadows to get a free invisibility effect. But there's also that game engine bug where when you're sneaking and you unsheath your weapon, you get that speed boost. It forgets that you're sneaking basically and takes away the movement speed penalty from crouching.
Another trap, most likely.
So that's like the fastest way to get around.
3 of the guards died when the lower hall flooded with steam last week.
Okay, we're gonna have to try to get through the poison on this, I think. I probably have, with the sneak skill that I have, the perks and the invisibility, I can probably get around one of those patrols and just kind of sneak right in front of one of their faces, but I don't want to get caught this early on in this infiltration. So I'm going to try to do it here. I need something to... Oh, collects many things is small. She is not going to be able to move this guy. Damn it. I don't have become ethereal. How fast is this going to hurt me? Way fast.
Come on in. The Silver Blood Inn.
God damn it.
has plenty of strong drink and clean rooms.
There's another way. There's only the two. You either have to sneak past the guards or you have to go under the poison tunnel. There are the switches, but you have to have something to weigh down the switches, right? 9:26 a.m. So now we're in the bright early hours of the morning.
Like your father.
All right, I'm just gonna piss fart around in the inn for 12 hours, 2 hours, 7 hours. This is gonna put us at 7 p.m. and we'll go 6 p.m. and then we'll take another nap. So much buffering. I haven't had any dropped frames for a while. I don't think that doesn't look like my end.
Never mind your mother, Ren. You listen to me.
Bow of Shadows invisibility is 30 seconds. Bow of Shadows also gives you 10% speed, so maybe you're seeing that speed of the probably patched walk. No, it's well, I have an older version of the game. This is 1.5.97, and this also. Wait, Bow of Shadows doesn't give you movement speed, does it? Weapon draw 25% faster and cast invisibility for 30 seconds. No, see, we'll switch to the Daedric crossbow. It doesn't even have to be a bow, really. It could be any weapon. As soon as I pull this out, now I'm cooking. So it's not just the Bow of Shadows. Bow of Shadows has a faster draw speed. I don't know that it actually gives you faster. So now we're going slow. Now we're cooking.
We drink to our youth.
Even dual weapons will give you that speed burst. Yeah, and that I remembered on console as well, even with the latest EXE version. So I don't think they ever patched that out. There might be like a bug fix patch on Nexus or something that does it, but I also don't think that anybody cares much about fixing it because it is kind of one of those good bugs, I would say, that add a little bit of depth to the gameplay. Bow, crossbowed, unarmed from sneak, you sneak cooker, yep.
I was just standing here.
You were just standing there when you were supposed to be serving drinks to our customers.
Shouldn't you be helping me then?
Oh, yours is patched. Oh, I didn't know that. That sucks.
Being my better half.
The Bow of Shadows looks... Yeah, it's a great model. Okay, let's get some food.
This is the Silver Blood Inn. Take a look.
So you have the glitch that lets you roll without the perk if you sheath an unsheathed weapon, then sneaking. Oh, I don't know. I have TK dodge installed, so I'm able to roll whenever I want. I don't need the perk for that. I won't be able to test that out. I kind of do want another water skin if we're going to be doing these long late night sessions and failing miserably every time. Man, I did not expect that poison to have that much effect even after I left the poison gas. That was crazy. That was actually crazy.
Our
Remember,
hero, our
Moderate hunger, severe thirst. We're good now.
Markheart.
Okay, let's get not a cat nap, but a lizard nap.
I tell you the drag
Oh, I gotta rebuy the hotel room again.
power of the ancient
What a complete shit show of a stream today, huh?
If I can't get you something, I'm sure my wife will.
It's
bellow
like
at me
the
till I
Murphy's
have
Law stream. Anything that can go wrong with the stream has gone wrong.
Skyrim's foes.
Good grief.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Yeah, I've noticed with certain mods used, and I don't know what it is, I don't do the speed burst when I'm drawing my bow or dual daggers. Sucks because I like that when sneaking around. Yeah, I think so. I'll have to check the version. And you're talking about your Xbox or your Xbox game or your PC game? Because I know you started trying Wildlander out a little bit.
I understand.
PC, okay. So yeah, that's more likely a mod.
We'll drive out the storm cloaks and restore what?
I haven't played a newer version of Skyrim on PC for a very long time, so I don't know. I've been playing 1.5.97 since that came out.
With our blood and our steel, we'll take back our
Yeah, Arif, I saw on Discord that you're the #1 TK dodge hater.
pillar of kings.
I mean,
On the day of
everybody
your
has their
death,
preferences.
we'll drink and
Everybody has their opinions. Not just any Murphy. This is an Eddie Murphy's Law stream. Anything that can go wrong with the comedic timing will. Absolutely. Ooh, someone around is carrying valuables. I need to find... this is a thief's eye. That's another thing I need to do. I need to talk about the builds before I go back in. Sorry, officer. I am on a mission. We're looking for a glowing icon above somebody's head. Oh, there he is. I see it. A pilgrim. Man, this is going to be hard to sneak up on these guys, too. Maybe not so much. Okay. Get that pickpocketing skill up. Don't need the elixir of water breathing because I'm an Argonian, but I can sell that off. Okay, this is the last one. I would, Magus, but there's a very strict timer on that perk. there's not really any other option if I want to make that. Okay. So before we go back into the Dwemer Museum, let's talk about the build here. I'm going to do a quick save, and I am going to go ahead and pull up the perks menu. And then I'll reload the save because I want to keep this level up tactically in case I need the health for it. All right. So archery, we're going to focus mainly... all right, this is going to be tough because with the thief, there's a lot of perks. A lot of perks to spread very thin across these skills. Archery is important because that is your only means of offense, right? At least until you get Brotherhood Cocktail. And then without any alchemy perks, your poisons are going to be gimped anyway. So sneak archery is pretty much what we're focused on for damage output. If and when we run into something that we need to kill, we have to use archery. So I need to be very good about, focusing on sneak archery first, but also some combat archery in here. Now, somebody mentioned earlier the trick arrows perk, and I would very, very much like to get into trick arrows here. It would fit the character very well. It would add a lot of power to our offense. But I need to make sure I have enough perks for my core build that I want to do. And since this is a pure thief, I really want to focus heavily on the thiefy stuff. Sneak's been good. I might not have to focus too much more on the thief stuff. Maybe this right behind you stuff. You're adept at hiding in your target's blind spot. Sneaking is 15% more effective within 30 feet and 30% more effective within 15 feet. So the closer you get to your target, the less likely they are to detect you. It kind of offsets the sneak algorithm in the game. The closer you get, the more likely you are. So it just kind of offsets that, which is great for pickpocketing. All right, so speaking of pickpocketing, more than anything, I want to make sure that this thief's eye, which is that glowing icon that we just pickpocketed that pilgrim from, I want to make sure that this is all kind of topped off. So I'm going to go thieves. So yeah, what this does is whenever you enter a major city from, inside, from outside the city, or from inside one of the buildings, every 5 minutes, I think that's real time. That's not in game. That's real time. Oh no, I'm sorry. You get 5 minutes. So I did have actually some time to sneak around on that. I thought it was a lot faster. I think I got confused with some of the lockpicking perks. But yeah, for 5 minutes, a random citizen will be illuminated for you to go pickpocket. Now, the pickpocketing target will have more valuable items, based on your skill. So we saw some things that guy wouldn't have had there before. This occurs 12 to 60 in-game hours. And there are more perks that let this happen more often, I think. So this allows you to kind of target what kind of item type these guys are going to have in their random loot. Shortly after you pickpocket or speak with the target illuminated by Thief's Eye, a new victim is illuminated up to 4 times in a row. So 12 to 60 in-game hours is a lot. It's a lot of time to wait from mark to mark, right? This one kind of it'll give you more for each proc that happens. So that's when you got to start being quick. 4 marks in 5 minutes is kind of tough. And then of course we're taking this, right? If you're playing a thief, if you're playing a pickpocket, there's absolutely no reason to not take this one. 50,000 gold. You can purchase a new perk point. This effectively makes a pickpocket the most powerful build in an Skyrim because it enables infinite perk points, right? So you can, if you're a master pickpocket, you can basically turn your character into the most powerful anything. So that we would be completely remiss not to include that in the build, even though it is OP. We're gonna have to talk about it. We're gonna have to use it. All right, so those are perks that I need to spend. Likewise in the lockpicking skill here. Robber's Eye is kind of the same thing, but when you enter a dwelling that you don't own, instead of highlighting a person to pickpocket, it will highlight a container to lockpick. And then you'll get increased valuable items from the random leveled loot list. And again, this can only occur every 12 to 60 in-game hours. And then this is where I got confused, where I had to be really quick, because if you hurry up and find this thing and get it picked in 15 seconds or less, you're gonna get more. You're gonna get more loot, and then you're also gonna reset the timer, the cooldown of Robber's Eye, so the next dwelling that you enter is gonna have a chance of having this stuff immediately. And then of course I want this for dungeons. And it's also going to last longer. The more gold stuff, we're going to have plenty of gold. That seems like a throwaway perk to me. We do need gold for a lot of stuff, but just fencing stolen items is going to be great. Increases the chance of finding an additional weapon or armor in many dungeons. We probably don't need this one either. Just because a lot of the stuff that we're going to be using for this build is going to be unique items that's statically placed in the world. So probably don't have to worry about that one. So that's another 2, I guess 3 perks just for the Robber's Eye stuff. So that's kind of like the core of what I want to do with this build. And then of course all the fencing and more money perks from this tree here. Now from there, what I want to do with my leftover perks, there's a couple ideas I have. Of course, with the pickpocketing, or I'm sorry, lockpicking skill, bear traps is going to add a lot to the gameplay variety of this build. I would very much like to do bear traps with this. I don't know how well it fits in with the theme of a thief, but it's going to make her a lot more fun to play for sure. So that's kind of a stretch goal, is the bear trap stuff. Like I already said, the trick arrow stuff is also a stretch goal, probably more important than the bear traps, if I'm being honest. But there's also another thing. There's a perk in this tree. I can find it. Party starter, I believe. Yes. Smoke screen would be great. Okay, so party starter. When you gain invisibility, and this is the one that synergizes with the Bow of Shadows. When you gain invisibility, places a barrel of flammable booze at your location. When you lose invisibility, it explodes, dealing fire damage equal to 200% of your sneak skill level and staggering targets. This effect has a 15-second cooldown. So, with the Bow of Shadows, I can sneak up on an enemy, unsheath the Bow of Shadows to gain invisibility and place down the explosives, sneak away from them, hit them with a sneak shot from the bow, which breaks invisibility. You'll get the damage from the bow and the trick arrow if you're using a trick arrow, and also the explosive damage from sneak, and that's all enabled from the Bow of Shadows, which is great. That seems like a lot of fun to me. That's probably the biggest priority that I have after the Thief's Eye and Robber's Eye, but that's going to take a few perks too. And not necessarily stuff that's unusable. I already talked about wanting to get right behind you. The next one would be smoke screen. So this basically makes enemies blind to sneaking targets, and then also beefs up your sneak attack damage too. So this is also great. And obviously party starter, that's the one that I wanted. This is going to be a lot of fun. Clean escape would be great also defensively, but then we also need the other regular sneak attack stuff. The daggers we don't need, but problem solver definitely. Cloak and dagger would be great. The laughing ghost power we don't need because we don't need to teleport close to an enemy. So I have a lot of perks here that I want to take, but not a whole lot of perks to use. That being said, if this is a level 50 build, I might have more than 50 perks to use because of the Dragon Horde perk. Lockpicking lets you hack drones and stuff. Yeah, that's a very cool part of the lockpicking tree, but it's very situational. It only works in Dwemer dungeons, right? It's not something that you can use all the time. It's only when you're going into Dwemer ruins. Laughing Ghost is too overpowered. It's very strong. I think that it could probably it's definitely overpowered if you spec correctly everywhere else, but I think on its own, if you don't have a whole lot of other buffs, it could be used in place of some other perks, freeing up those perks for other things if you're a sneak and stab assassin. And I'm of the opinion I don't really care too much if it's overpowered, because eventually every character in Skyrim becomes overpowered, and if you're using an Irem, that happens sooner than it would otherwise. So you're going to become overpowered regardless. It's just if it makes it more fun, then I'm all about it. I don't put as much stock of avoiding things because they're too overpowered so much. It's more about the fun for me than the balance. Hey, there's End King. Didn't see him come in. Imagine if you could disarm an enemy's bowstring as if it were a trap. That's kind of cool. That is a cool idea. Okay, now we gotta sneak our sorry asses all the way back through this stuff again. How is our needs? Yeah, we're good. All right. And since we died from the environment, we're not really taking on any kind of death penalty because there is no nemesis to target to clear it. And I have it set not to drop stuff on on a self-death. Oh. On a non-enemy kill. Alchemy also has become second nature too. Love it. Basically use it for all characters created yeah, alchemy's another one of those things that is overpowered. But it also, because of that, it enables all kinds of builds on legendary difficulty that wouldn't be viable otherwise. It's the great enabler. These guys are in perfect unison over here. Let's see what they do when they come back over here. Do they stop for a minute? New nemesis, Poison Cloud. You have gained fear of farts. Yes. Fart phobia. Flagophobia. Okay, so here's the switch right here. If you stand on this thing, you can clear the poison out for a little bit, but we need something. Collects many things is too weak to actually carry that guard's corpse. And I can't walk in there at all because I'm dead in pretty much literally less than a second. So I need to find something else to weigh that thing down with. If I can find like a Dwemer, you know, hunk of Dwemer metal or something. I don't think I have anything in my inventory. I already sold everything off. I got some corundum ore. Iron ore. Animal bones? We can try the animal bones in the pelt and stuff and see if that works, I guess. Collex has the gator tail. Didn't realize how thick it was. Yes, thick with 2 C's. Actually, no, we're not allowed to talk about Collex like that. Breaks the rules. Breaks terms of service. What constitutes carrying a dead body in the game from being super heavy to being super light? It might be height. I'm not actually sure, but a lot of my smaller characters, they can't drag dead bodies around, but my bigger characters can. Hey, there's James. I think I missed you on the way in, James. Sorry about that. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, I'll take the plentiful healing. No, it needs to be a full-ass body, it looks like. And then as soon as I step off of it, yeah, that's not enough time. Okay. Skyrim subscribes to the BMI myth, yeah. I mean, do I look obese to you? Because I am borderline obese according to BMI standards. I'm very overweight. But I also have a good body fat percentage, and I'm healthy, so... Fucking BMI, man. It's fucked a lot of people up. BMI is health standards. It's ridiculous. Actually, I was. I've recently lost like around 15 pounds. I was over 250 like a year ago. And I started making subtle changes to my diet and doing more steady state cardio. And was able to eventually melt off 15 pounds. Was never unhealthy. So I might just be very overweight, no longer borderline obese. Kill one of the guards not in the poison. Well, we're trying to do this as passively as possible. What I'm thinking is I am going to tail them, and then I am going to tuck in right behind that rock right there, because they have to go around that rock, and I'm gonna stop, and I'm going to not move an inch until they pass me, and then we'll go on the next round here, and then I'll make a little sprint for it. It shouldn't take 30 seconds. I should have all that I need. They're gonna see that giant gator tail there, aren't they? Oh my god, this clock is probably ticking off real fast there. Get behind the pillar. Very nice. Well done, Cole. There we go. You've always been active. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, officially and technically, I was obese. Because all the definition of obesity is like a certain BMI, and BMI, all that is weight versus height. And because I lifted weights, meant that I was very heavy for my height. And the old school antiquated definitions of, you know, health completely based on weight and height said that I was way too heavy and unhealthy, when in fact I was far healthier than the average person. Okay, that was pretty good. Now this is where the cube is, right? Now since this is pacifist, I know, you know, everybody's got that demon and angel on their shoulder, right? The demon on everybody's shoulder also always like just starts screaming in their ear, like, do it, activate the valve, kill everybody. But, you know, that's not what this character is all about. She's not a violent person by nature. She'll do it when she has to, when the moment calls for it. She has no problem killing Draugr. Lost Legends. Oh, this is the Galder one, huh? Might do that at some point. It is a valuable artifact, after all. Okay. We need more invisibility because we are in the light. Let's wait for him to turn back around. Okay. You recently lost a bunch of weight because I was sick and made it hard to eat. Yeah, you also get really dehydrated. That's a really common thing. I lose like 10 pounds every time I get sick because of, not just because I can't eat, but 10 pounds of food and fat is almost impossible to lose over the course of a week. But it's usually moisture. It's water. Because you're peeing and having diarrhea and stuff, and just, yeah, you're losing all your moisture. You're heavily dehydrated. And then you usually gain it back really quick because of that. You will lose a few pounds if it's an extended like stomach bug and you really can't eat. But you're going to become extremely malnourished at that point, and it's probably very dangerous. The dehydration thing is very normal. You actually had a hard time pooping while you were sick? Well, that's sad. I've had it both ways, actually. I'm trying to decide if it would be worth... Oh, there's one of those robber's eye things. Here we go. Let's go ahead and take care of that now. Yeah, so one of the big things that I'm doing with this build, I'm really trying to beat it into my head every time I enter a city, like the outdoor main area of a city, or every time I enter a an indoors area that I don't own, I have to keep my eyes pasted to the upper left-hand corner of the screen, because that is where you're going to get the notification that either Thief's Eye or Robber's Eye is procced. And I'm not sure. Damn it. I just fucked up all my attributes. Oh, that's okay. I might have to redo this off stream. I never reloaded the quick save after I leveled up that one time. What was I saying? Oh yeah, and it might also, with the lockpicking, the Dragon Horde, Game of Fate. These Dragons of Fate, that might also notify you when you're close to one of those. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've actually found one of those. Especially, those are extremely rare. Especially if you had like added lands mods and quest mods, new lands mods, because those 5 containers are distributed amongst all containers, even through your load order and stuff like that. So the more added in places that you have, the harder it's going to be to find those Dragons of Fate. But they're very much worth it. Wasn't constipation, just wasn't eating. Yeah. Well, if you're drinking,
Yes, I'm
there's still something to poop out. As I was gonna say, yeah, I've had it both ways, where I couldn't poop and where I couldn't stop pooping, and I think the diarrhea was worse than the
I'll
constipation.
deal with my uncle. Just go. Scour this place from top to bottom.
It's because that dehydration was rough, really rough. Worse than just a pain in the colon, you know? Dive, yeah, okay, so I've died from this before. Not having become ethereal makes this even more scary. I've died from this a few times before, actually, even in the vanilla game without like weird mods and everything. So that's something that can happen. On long falls, you'll just die. The game decides that, okay, you're just gonna die because you've been falling long enough. So even in the vanilla game, I'd make it a habit to cast Become Ethereal at this point, but I don't have that, so we're just kind of putting our life in Fate's hands now. Woo, there we go. Made it through. That's good. Okay, and we're good. Well done, Collex. You know, after the whole poison gas fiasco, everything else was expertly done, I think. She's definitely coming into her own as a thief, making lots of money because of it. Now we have a bunch of stolen goods that we need to fence off. Did we get Endon? We can do Pine Watch on the way back. That should be fun. I would say that collects many things she's a morally good character. She's a thief. She will steal stuff to get by, and she will actually find out that once she has a knack for this kind of thing, she's gonna actually start to enjoy her job more and more. But she still wants to do right by people, and especially in terms of killing people. She doesn't want to do that unless she has to. Criminals, people who are murderers, bandits, you know, rogue mages, random people that she finds in hostile dungeons and stuff, she's not going to be so concerned about. She would rather not fight them if she can help it. I did tell Zora to follow me, didn't I? Oh, I did not. Okay. She should catch up. Zora. Zora. Anyway. But in terms of like the guards and stuff in the Dwemer Museum, she had no reason to believe that they were bad people that deserved to die, right? So we're going to try to avoid hurting and killing them as much as possible. And we did that. They never even knew we were there. That's good. That's the essence of a thief, right? With bandits, other bad guys that we're going to find in random dungeon crawls and things like that, she's not going to have any moral qualms about killing them if she has to. She's going to try to avoid combat because she's afraid of dying. She's extremely squishy. She's definitely the squishiest character I have, including the mage, because the mage at least has, you know, flesh spells and distorted shape to protect him, along with a bunch of conjured meat shields as well. So, but Cole doesn't have any of that. She has Zora, but Zora's not the best tank, and Zora's her best friend, so she doesn't want to put her in any more danger than she has to, right? Okay, so what are we gonna do here? We have some really pressing. Okay, I was gonna do the Pine Watch thing and maybe Zora's quest, but I think roleplay wise, this Thieves Guild quest line is going to be very high priority. This is a very pressing matter that we need to take care of as soon as possible. So we need to get back to Enther at the Winterhold Inn. So I think we're going to hitch a ride. That's going to be the safest, most direct way to get there. It's at least going to be faster than trying to run there. I mean, technically not, but officially, realistically, yes, it would. Hey, thanks for the shout out to the Wind and Magus Haster. You're a good dude. And welcome in. Don't know if I saw you pop in earlier. Yeah, there's some. It's hit or miss with most mods and most modded dialogue.
Traveling in the Reach is dangerous.
It's gotten better lately in some mods, but not all of them.
So I replied, but then how else will I annoy you?
I'd like to hire your carriage.
Where do you want to go?
Winterhold, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Oh yeah, the storm's over in Scotland. I have a few you know, Skyrim-y video game friends in Scotland, and they're all okay. They're no worse for wear. I think Haggis Hunter, he drops by every now and then on some of the streams. Had to have some repairs done on his roof, but other than that, she was fine. And then Laughing Simon, of course. I don't think had any damage to his property, so that was all good. So glad to hear that everybody's safe over there. That I know anyway. Bills versus Chiefs tonight. Hopefully Josh Allen can come through after beating the snot out of my Ravens. Yeah, that was a good upset. The Bills have been right on the precipice of a Super Bowl for a while, and they've been good enough to do it. They've been toe-to-toe with the Chiefs for years now, and then just kind of barely losing shootouts to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs over there. So yeah, this is quite the rivalry here. I'm kind of pulling for the Bills too. I've seen this matchup enough and seen the Bills fall. You dislike both teams? I don't dislike either one of them. I'm kind of sick of seeing the Chiefs, but they're definitely fun to watch. Mahomes is definitely something special. But yeah, I think everybody thought the Ravens should have won that game, and Bills pulled it out. Oh, but Andrews dropped that pass in the end zone, huh? They probably should have won that game. With thief characters, I like using the Steed Stone for 40% faster sneak. Yeah, that helps for sure. But the bug that we just talked about, the unsheath bug, it's enough for me most of the time.
Back, eh? And how was our friend Caselmo?
This should help transmute Gallus's journal. Yep.
I suppose it would be inappropriate of me to ask how you obtained this, so I simply won't.
Drop the 2-point conversion to tie the game into OT. Okay, I see. So it wasn't an. I didn't watch the game. As soon as the Cardinals dropped out of it, I became infinitely less interested. I follow all the sports, but I really only follow local teams. So once my team drops out, I'm kind of like, I'll catch up with it later, maybe.
This is intriguing, but highly disturbing. It appears that Gallus had suspicions about Mercer Frey's allegiance to the Guild for months. Gallus had begun to uncover what he calls an
not my team, I don't care. That's kind of, that's where I'm at. There's too much of it, right?
On personal pleasures.
NFL is a little bit easier to keep track of because there are fewer games and, less to keep track of.
Without anyone's knowledge.
But things like basketball and baseball, their seasons are so long and padded that
yes, here it is.
You just can't keep track of everything, so I just focus on my team.
The failure of the Nightingales, although it doesn't go into great detail.
Hey, there's Big Head.
Gallus also repeatedly
How you doing, buddy?
his strong belief that Mercer desecrated
Hope you were
something
doing
known
well.
as the Twilight Sepulchre.
Shadows preserve us.
Twilight Sepulchre would be an awesome metal band.
I'm not familiar with the Twilight Sepulchre. What is it? What's Mercer Frey done?
Actually, I think Sepulchre was
I can't say.
a metal band.
All that matters
If not,
is we
still
deliver
is.
your translation to the guild immediately. Farewell, Anther. Words can't express.
That was a
It's
quick
all right,
goodbye.
Carlia, you don't have to say a word.
Show us the fork.
Listen, huh?
Jesus, it's that tail. Thanks,
If
Anther.
you ever manage to gain entry to the college and you find trying to rid yourself of stolen goods becoming a burden, come visit me. I've been
If we're doing
known
the
to
Galder
handle
amulet, we'll
items
have
of
to get
questionable
into the college
interest from
somehow.
time to time, and I'll see what I can do.
My team won 2-3. Newcastle made their fans leave the stadium again, but the first time. Oh, were they getting too rowdy, James? Oh, I have the face light mod, Magus. It's just it crashes. It causes crashes for me. It has for years. I don't know why. I am a big fan of the conversation face light because it shows their faces while they're talking in the dark. But I had to disable it because it would crash. Not all the time, but it was very consistent with certain dialogue scenes, and I'll just use quick light now if I need to see somebody that I'm talking to. Use the newer one? I don't know. It's the one that came with Nulvis back when I installed it. But I found quick light to be fine.
Need of me, you can find me in the college.
For the most part. And I can still enable it if I want to do like a screenshot or see my character's face or whatever. This game is dark. This part, I think this is RLO mixed with the ENB. It does end up being very, very dark. But I like a dark game because it makes things like torches and light sources more viable. I just wish that the light sources would cast a little bit wider of light, because this actually isn't too bad. This looks pretty nice, but like that chandelier isn't casting much light at all. I feel like I'm getting more light from these sconces than I am the chandeliers themselves. But especially like in Hearthfire homes and stuff, could use a little bit wider lighting on some of these sources. I like it dark too, so I can use Night Eye. Yeah, it feels like more of an advantage for characters that can see in the dark for sure. All right, am I supposed to? I'm supposed to talk to Carlia. I spoke to Enther instead. Damn it. I'll check that one out later, Magus. In fact, if you could paste that in Discord somewhere, or just DM it to me, that would be even better, so I don't have to scroll back through the chat. Carlia.
We must hasten to Riften before Mercer can do any more damage to the guild.
Gallus's journal mentioned the Twilight Sepulchre.
You've come this far, so I see no harm in concealing it any longer. The Twilight Sepulchre is the temple to Nocturnal. It's what the Nightingales are sworn to protect with their lives.
Okay. And why does it require that type of protection?
Everything that represents Nocturnal's influence is contained within the walls of the Sepulchre. Now it seems Mercer's broken his oath with Nocturnal and defiled the very thing he swore to protect.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Max. Thieves and temples. It just doesn't add up.
I felt the same way when Gallus first revealed these things to me. I think given time,
I'm going to keep the Nightingale armor on hand for when I need to do more combat stuff, more infiltration combat stuff. It works better for that. If I'm out on thieving jobs, I'll just use the Thieves Guild armor. Got to use the right tool for the job, you know? Love Carly. Yeah, I love her too. One of my favorite NPCs, even from the vanilla game. One of the most unique ones, actually, too. She's super smart. She's hot as hell.
As a Nightingale,
she's
I've been
formidable.
sworn to secrecy regarding the Sepulchre. I know the guild doesn't do much to foster faith, but I'm going to have to ask that you continue
Perfect
to trust
woman.
me.
She's also, I think, descended from royalty too, right? Very well. We do it your way for now.
I'll make for Riften and scout the situation. See if I can discover what.
Not that
Mercer's
that
up
means
to.
anything at this point.
When you're ready, meet me at the Ragged Flagon. In the meantime,
She's
I
also
wanted you to
British.
have
There you go,
this.
James.
It belonged to
Something
Gallus.
about that British accent. Well,
Given
some
the
of them anyway.
circumstances, I think he'd approve.
Some of them aren't so pretty.
If the guild isn't willing to listen to reason, you might have to.
You know, I don't think I've ever roleplayed a Dunmer. Ah, that's interesting, huh? Dunmer are one of my favorites. For me, I like Dunmer, and then I like Nords, and I like Red Guards. I think those are probably my three faves. The Red Guard one is a more recent one, as I've learned more about their history and their prowess as warriors, and the Sword Singer stuff is really awesome. The Ashaba stuff is really cool. It's just really captivating. Dunmer are awesome because they look like, well, they're dark elves, right? And their history and everything, their dark histories, and it's very compelling. And Morrowind is just so like alien and weird, it can't not be compelling. Dunmer were my first favorites, and then it was the Nords because I don't know, I just thought they were badass. Skyrim came out and I kind of fell in love with Nord culture and everything, but I did mostly play Nords as an Oblivion player as well, just because they kind of matched me as much the most. And I mean, obviously I wanted to play myself in those games, and I still do from time to time. But yeah, Nords, Dunmer, and Red Guards. Red Guards are your fourth. Bretons, Bosmer, and Nords. There you go. For the wind. Red Guards, Argonian, and Dunmer, and Nords. Oh, Silent stuck a fourth one in there. I'm surprised to see a lot of Red Guard love here. Red Guards have been around forever, but I feel like their lore and their stuff, lore and just how badass they are didn't really start making the rounds as common knowledge until just fairly recently, I think, when people started digging deeper into Skyrim lore after having played it for hundreds of hours. It's just back when Skyrim came out, you didn't see like a lot of build guides and Let's Plays and stuff that had to do with Red Guards. Change up my plans when I get my mods done. Oh, you're thinking about Dunmer now, huh? Hey, there's Tom. Obviously Khajiit, yes. Tom is a Khajiit. Sword singing, Ansei, the Ashaba. Yeah, it's all cool. Which it looks like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be set in Hammerfell, which is cool. I'm glad to play through the Redguard stuff, but I've mentioned this on other streams before. I was born and raised in the desert. I don't need more desert landscape. Please, God, no. Let's have more than one biome in there, please. And I hope it's not mostly desert. Let's see here. What are we doing? 5 a.m. Should we get some rest? How are we doing on needs? We're mildly hungry, which we can take care of that easily enough. I think we have plenty of food on us. Just have some cheese there. I love Dunmer, but also like other races too. For whatever reason, I think it was maybe the races with the 2 that is showing up underneath the I love. But when I first glanced at Caladran's message there, I thought she said, I love tacos. I was like, yeah, I love tacos too. Then my brain had to make sense of what I was actually seeing there. Yeah, I have a very narrow chat window because I got a lot of other information on my screen right now that I'm looking at for the stream. So I have kind of like a very narrow chat window, and it lined up I love with races too, and my brain just scrambled that into I love tacos. Don't say that, and then ES6 says give them Starfield 2 instead. No, they're not going to do that. ES6 is probably going to be their best-selling game of all time. And also probably their most hated game of all time. Funny how that works. Let's see here. Hard shell or soft shell tacos? I go back and forth. I go back and forth on that. I don't know. It really depends on the taco. They will remaster Starfield SE. No, they got to do Starfield LE first. And then they'll do Starfield SE. And then they'll do Starfield AE with all the Creation Club stuff. And then they just will stop talking about Elder Scrolls altogether. They won't officially cancel it, but it'll just never come out. Oh god, I think I just made everybody in chat sick. Sorry about that. Alright, what are we doing here? So hyped for Starfield AE. No, we've gone round and round about this. I am a Starfield fan, but everybody who wants to fight me about it, we fought about it. I don't think either one of us are changing our minds anytime soon. Okay, what are we doing here? We're not tired. We just ate a little bit, so we should be good on that. Now we need to go back to the Ragged Flagon and confront the guild about Mercer here. So let's head back to Riften. Fanboy. Oh. Well, I mean, part of it. No, if I were a fanboy, I'd like Fallout 76, but I hated that game. One good thing I will say about Fallout 76 is they did the world building correctly. They did that right. They started with a procedural generated landscapes and everything, and then they went through and handcrafted everything, and they did a really good job creating that map, that world. So they are still, capable of doing it. I think just Starfield was just such a different concept. It was such a different lateral move for them that they needed procedural generation to hit the mark on what they were going for there. I don't hate Starfield. Hey, Caladran, my BFF. Yeah, rely too much on modders to fix the game. People have been saying that since Oblivion, and a lot of the complaints that people have about Starfield were the same complaints that people had about Oblivion. So I'm just sick of I'm sick of hearing it, but I'm also sick of arguing about it too. So I'm just not even engaging anymore. Oh, here's a new one for you. It's wide as an ocean but deep as a puddle. I haven't been hearing that one since freaking Oblivion. Right? Same shit, different game. But it's worse in this game because it's new. It's better in that game because it's old.
If I had even a pot to piss in, I'd gladly share. Sorry.
All right. Let's see. We need to head down to the Ragged Flagon. We need to go through the main entrance for this.
Rare trinkets.
I just prefer swords and magic over guns and space stuff. Yeah, and that's kind of the crux of it. There's a lot of rage baiting with new games. It's not just Starfield. It's with pretty much every new game that comes out now. The loud, angry people are louder and angrier than the people who are actually enjoying the game. So that's kind of dominates the discourse about everything. And misery loves company, so they all kind of join in together, and now there's a chorus of loud, angry hatred for every new game that comes out. I just have to disengage from it. I still like video games. I like video games. I get excited when a new game comes out that looks cool. And most video games that I try, the vast majority of video games that I try, I end up really liking. So a lot of the sentiment about video games suck these days. It's like, there's so much good stuff coming out that I think it's just, it's raising everybody's expectations like way too high. And now everybody can't have fun unless the game is a perfect 10 on Metacritic or whatever. I'm ready to, let's go. What if Mercer's there? Well, better now than never, so let's go do it.
Keep your eyes open. I'm not sure what to expect when we enter the cistern.
What? Were you a good girl out there? You're being good? Okay, you gotta say hi to everybody, though. Alright, come here, dog. Oh, girl. I love you so much. You got kisses for Dad? Oh, I got kisses. Well, she says, oink, oink, oink. My little Davo Bones. Davey likes video games too, because then Daddy spends time with her on the couch playing PlayStation 5 games. Yeah. And then he's not going out and doing all kinds of other things with other puppies if he's here playing video games, huh? Because you get very jealous. You get very jealous. She said, okay, put me down, go get me a treat. Alright. Yeah, I've been beckoned. I need to go get the dog a treat. I'll be right back, okay? That's one thing we can all agree on that we love. We are divided on Starfield, but we come back together with cute pets. All right. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. The dog has been appeased. Too small for my taste, but at least it's not a Chihuahua. She is a Beagle Dachshund mix, so she's pretty heavy for her height. She's long and short at the same time. Wonder what AI format he uses to get those pictures. That's ChatGPT. ChatGPT has done a pretty good job with the pictures so far. But you gotta tinker with it. You gotta fiddle with it to get it to, you know, have the proper amount of fingers and to get exactly what you want. But if once you get the hang of the prompts, you can get some pretty close stuff to what your Skyrim character looks like. And you can also use it for inspiration on what your Skyrim character should look like. Heck yeah, I love dogs. I know, I'm a dog person. I like cats too. I'm more of a dog person. I just like the fun, goofy energy that they bring. I also like how cats are chill. I've known more evil cats than I've known evil dogs, though. My grandma had a cat that they named Hannibal because of how evil he was. I gotta go. It's 2 a.m. here. Good night here. Okay, Arif. See you around, okay? Have a good night. What dodge do you use? I use TK dodge. It's the unscripted Nemesis version of TK dodge. The scripted Finis version is not as good. It's got script lag on it. But the newer unscripted version is pretty much instantaneous. Probably uses the silent roll as dodge. Tell Karn TK dodge sucks. Yeah, Magus doesn't like TK dodge much either. I don't mind dogs, more of a cat person. Yeah, that's just fine. Cats are more low maintenance. For sure. You got to take more care of a dog than you do a cat. Cats are pretty chill. Pretty much take care of themselves. But I'm too lazy to walk them. Yeah, I walk. We went around the block last night, which is a lot for her. She's about 14 and a half years old right now. She'll be 15 in a few months. So she's losing weight, and she has less energy than she did. But, and she's got some dysplasia in her hips and stuff, but the more that we can walk her and keep her walking, the better she feels. So I took her around the block. It was a good 30-minute walk last night, and she did it like a champ. She marched through like a soldier. She enjoyed every second of it. She ate a bunch of dinner afterwards. She's a good girl. Oh, that question was for Arif. Which dodge mod do I use? He was asking Arif. Arif does not like that. Yeah. TK dodge. I don't understand the dodge hate. For me, it just enables so much. Gameplay wise, it really livens up the character. You can use for mouse and keyboard too. Yes, absolutely you can. In fact, it's easier. What the hell are you doing, Zora? It looks like she's jerking off a ghost. That ghost from the Ratways from that AE Dawnfang and Duskfang thing. Dawnfang and Duskfang. Sitting right next to her there. Kind of a bad hand job too. She's not really getting into it very, very much. Kind of just holding it like a guardrail. You don't mind if I just sit here and watch and criticize your technique, right? Maybe take the glove off too. That can't be feeling good either. She's more occupied with her drink. That's fine. Typical. Going skiing almost, yep. Skiing with a beer in one hand. Not enough wrist. Yeah, you need more friction. And at least acting like you're enjoying it goes a long way, right? She's just kind of not even paying attention to it. She's just drinking, looking off somewhere else, barely even moving. All right. We got to go catch up with Carlia. Start a fire down there. Yeah, there you go. Do you know Argonians can change their gender? I did know that.
You better have a damn good reason to be here with that murderer.
Please, Lower your weapons so we can speak. I have proof that you've all been misled.
No tricks, Carlia, or I'll cut you down where you stand.
The FJ probably wouldn't be any worse than the HJ that Zora was doing back there.
I think you'll find its contents disturbing.
Look, she's still working on it.
Let me see. No,
and she's even doing the cup. She was doing the cup with the other hand.
I've known Mercer too long.
It's true, Brynjolf. Every word. Mercer's been stealing from the guild for years, right under your noses.
There's only one way to find out if what the lass says is true. Delvin, I'll need you to open the vault.
Who's been watching Squid Game? I have not been watching Squid Game. I watched the first season.
It says Mercer's been stealing from a vault for years.
And it was really good, but I felt like it just really didn't need a second season, and nothing that it has showed me so far makes me feel compelled to watch it again. I feel like it should have just been completely self-contained in the first season. So, I don't know, I've just been less interested in the second season.
We'll open it up and find out the truth.
Just don't know that it can show me anything new. And my wife started watching it. She's in Florida right now on a business trip.
I've used my key, but the vault's still
and so she's been watching it on her tablet, and she's like, yeah, pretty much exactly. It's I don't know why we needed a second season. They're pretty much just rehashing all the stuff from the first one. But it does sound like they're going more into the guards a little bit, at least a little bit, and what some of them are there for. We'll let the muscle go in first here.
The gold.
What's she do for work? She works for a credit card company. Just project management.
Kill him.
Vex, put it away right now. We can't afford to lose our heads. We need to calm down and focus.
Do what he says, Vex. This ain't helping right now.
Fine. We do it your way. For now.
Delvin, Vex, watch the flagon. If you see Mercer, come tell me right away.
Okay. I gotta speak to Brynjolf. Bryn.
Look, before I help you track Mercer down,
I'm gonna walk back and forth quickly for about 4 seconds.
Everything.
Oh, Dink life is the best life, man. It's good stuff. And our friends with kids let us know every day how good of a life we have, so we never forget. We do have the dog, but that's not like having kids. There are parallels for sure, but it's not the same. You think dogs are harder to take care of than cats? The kids are just a completely different ballpark. You used to have it, yeah. Let's see. Mercer killed Gallus, not Carlia.
Aye, I feared that was the case. From that last entry in Gallus's diary, it looks like he was getting close to exposing Mercer to the guild. Anything else?
Well, also, turns out Carlia, Mercer, and Gallus are all nightingales.
What?
Yeah.
Nightingales?
The boogeymen.
But I always assumed they were just a tale. A way to keep the young footpads in line. Was there anything else she told you?
Carlia was behind Golden Glow and Haunting Brew.
Trying to make Mercer look bad in front of Maven, eh? Clever lass. Was there anything else?
No, that's it.
Then I have an important task for you. I need you to break into Mercer's home and search for anything.
Unfortunately divorced, but she worked and we did whatever we wanted to living out in San Diego. That's awesome. San Diego is one of my favorite places, just with the weather and the beach and just the vibe down there. We like to visit a lot of different places, but yeah, San Diego is one of my favorites.
After they kicked the previous family out, a place called Riftweald Manor. He never stays there, just pays for the upkeep on it.
Expensive place to be.
To guard the place.
Fun for a vacation for sure.
Be careful, lass. This is the last place in Skyrim I'd ever want to send you. Just find a way in, get the information and leave. And you have permission to kill anyone that stands in your way.
Oh yeah, Huntington Beach is great. Actually, we went and saw a Padres game there not too long ago, and that's like right on the coast. And it's a pretty standard stadium, but they have like the low walls so that you can like see the ocean as you're watching the game, and just some really great like sunsets and things like that. And then we had a hotel when we went to see the game. We had a hotel just down the street in downtown San Diego. So we didn't even have to deal with traffic or anything. We could walk right from the hotel room to the stadium. It was just it was like the best baseball game I've ever been to. Petco Stadium. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Never understood that after killing Mercer, one could not take ownership of Riftweald Manor. I bet that would be an easy enough mod to make at some point if it doesn't exist already. I stepped away. What's a dink? Dual income, no kids. I don't know. I've never had kids, so I've been single income, no kids, but I've worked in tech, so I've never really had to live too poorly, I guess. But the dual income is definitely much better, in my opinion, if you can find the right dual to share it with. Obviously, you got to give up the kids part of that to have the dual income, no kids, and that's a very defining factor for a lot of people's lives, and I do not blame them for that. I see the love that people have in their eyes when they look at their kids sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, and it's a love that doesn't exist between two other people in the universe. It's a very nice thing to behold. So I don't blame anybody for having kids, for sure, but I am not, we'll say I'm not regretting my decision. Quad income, no kids. So you want you're thinking about a sister wives situation over there, or maybe a reverse sister wives?
Well, not everything.
You're gonna have two other brother husbands?
Who thought it was a good idea to leave them in a pool of water?
Tech life, yeah, buddy. I mean, tech has had some bad years the past few years, but yeah. Passive income is the way to do it. You can just basically live a retiree life. I don't know. I feel like I need a job. I need something to get me up and moving every morning. I don't know. I am on track for retirement at 65. Maybe sooner if I can move some things around. But I don't know what I'll do with myself when I don't have a job that I love. Low voltage tech work. Nice. Single income, 3 kids. Yeah, that's like that's the opposite. Three kids-ish. They aren't children anymore. Yeah. I get ya. That's got to be nice, like getting them to the point where they're adults and you can be more friends with them than guardians. It's like all the fruit of your labor is paid off, and now you just get to enjoy them as a person. All right, it's kind of late. Let's see. We just had a big couple days here. We probably use a little bit of a, not a cat nap, a lizard nap here. Mild hunger, mild thirst. Don't want to go to bed hungry or thirsty. So let's do that. We'll do some skooma. I wouldn't say it's a problem yet. She's a very... she practices a lot of moderation with the skooma, but it is something that she's getting a growing taste for. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for her. We'll just do 5 hours. We don't need a full night's rest. Yeah, I think I knew that about you, Wind. Sorry about that. But the boys, from what I've heard of the kids, they turned out pretty good, huh? One of them just got married not too long ago. I think another one of them, it might be the same one, does some streaming every once in a while on Twitch. They're the best boys ever. There you go. You did a pretty good job, Wind, sounds like. Let's see. What are we doing? The pursuit. Infiltrate Mercer's house. Okay. Are we worried about doing that in the dead of daylight? Maybe. Let's go and turn in some of our stuff here. Brother and I were little crotch goblins, and we still get on our nerves. Polite, respectful, and they take care of me when I need it. There you go. That's all you can ask for. I'm sure that there were challenges and everything, but it sounds to me like when all is said and done, you did an A+ job on those kids, then that's all you can really ask for, right?
All right, Delvin. What gives with that case of shadow banish you sold me?
What do you mean? That white taste.
Tonelia, you got anything good for me?
There's no doubt Mercer will make... I give special rates to members of the Thieves Guild.
Wind spawns. Yeah, what is Hood? That is
the
one there. Orcish bow, I don't need. The Nightingale blade will hold on to as maybe just a, I don't know, an adornment for now. It's kind of like a status symbol. It means something to her because Carlia means something to her. So we're going to keep that. The arrows we're all going to keep. We have anything else? Let's just sort by weight here. Yeah, the gilded armor is too shiny. Major alchemy, we're going to keep that. Vardenfell glass, too shiny again. Human flesh. My god. Okay, we'll keep that. Randomly feel like it. Yeah, that's kind of the same way. I mean, again, there's no comparison, but I feel like that with my dog all the time too. Like, I was trying to get her to eat more dinner a few days ago, and so I put some bacon grease in her kidney disease food because she does have some kidney disease that we're trying to keep her low protein diet up with. But then it's like she doesn't like the low protein food as much, so I put some bacon grease in her food to get her to eat it. And then she was sick because she's also prone to pancreatitis when she eats fatty foods. So, yeah, she had some diarrhea after that. And I'm like, she's an old dog. I just want her to have the best life possible with the time that she has left. And here I am just making her sick. A little bit different than feeling like you messed up another human's life. But, I mean, it really sounds like you did a great job when all was said and done. But that being said, I probably would feel exactly the same way if I had kids. Like, what am I doing to screw this person up and ruin their lives? Like, constantly. Yeah. But it sounds like they're doing great, so... And that you did great. Let's see. Any more? Animal bones I don't need... Might keep the Grand Soul Gem. Well, I can't get the Soul Stealer arrows from the AE stuff, so I can get some souls at some point if I need to. The Petty Soul Gems are not going to be worth it as much. And since I am not doing enchanting perks, I don't need the Flawless stuff. Why is Tonelia white? She's not white. She just got a light complexion. And then also the lighting, yeah. Okay, anything else? Oh man, I should have been using my Amulet of Zenithar that whole time. Well, at least I got the, silver ruby ring. She doesn't have enough to buy that anyway. All right.
If you find Mercer, give no quarter. Kill him and be done with it.
Quarter, I won't give him a quarter, but if he asks me nicely enough for a septum, I might give him that.
I've got all sorts of weapons. Take a look.
This guy's not a general goods vendor, so he will not buy that ring from me. Oh, well. And of course the alchemist won't either. Both of my parents together, no, they are not. I might come off as very well adjusted, but I have all kinds of family drama. A whole bunch of drama and trauma and all kinds of bullshit.
It's one thing
But I think I've turned out fairly normal in spite of it all. I think that's what they tell me. Let's see, where are we going? Every family does. Yeah, to some degree. I think I probably got some of the nastier stuff. Not the nastiest, but definitely up there. Infiltrate Mercer's house. Okay. Should we wait? I feel like we should wait. Do I need to do a vending run? I still have... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we took our little cat nap already. Are these guys still pissed off in here? I don't think they'll stop me from using the secret exit here, but they might. We always keep those amulets for this reason and forget about it half the time. Absolutely. We like to think that Slack has taught us well, but, you know, some of us just aren't very good students.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
Okay. Oh, I do need to drop off the Mara stuff for Dinya here. We did hook up Calcelmo and Fahluaan. So we can kick that off and maybe get a little bit closer to our 15% Magicka resistance.
Lady Mara bids
or just
you
magic
welcome
resistance.
to her benevolence. The goddess smiles at your efforts, child. The dawn
If we all
shines
meted, the game would
bright
get
upon
real
you.
quick. Lame.
You have
Yes,
seen
it would
the
get lame
young,
really quick.
fickle love of youth and helped a more seasoned love find its
Yeah,
way.
and that's kind of
And
why
there's
I'm
one
not like a
final
fan of
aspect
saying
we
this is
wish
the
for
right
you
way
to
to do it,
explore.
this is the wrong way to do
For a
it, or you
strong
shouldn't use
love
that
can
mod, or you shouldn't
withstand
use this mod,
storms,
or
and
this
even
race
survive
wouldn't
death.
do this class, or
Take
this class
this
wouldn't
symbol of Mara.
do this thing,
She
or
will
this quest
guide
line
you
or
to
something,
the
because
wandering
that
souls
just
of
makes
two, whose love was
everybody
so great that their
have like very
entwinement
homogenous
binds
builds
them
and
to
very
this
homogenous
world.
playthroughs and very homogenous characters. And the interest lies in the shades of gray here between what the right thing to do and what the wrong thing to do is. So I will engage with the meta stuff in order to make a more nuanced build viable, even if it's not technically the right thing to do in the game engine or with Ordinator or whatever. And then I'll use overpowered things like, you know, alchemy and other things to enable that build concept. And then you end up getting like a very nice, unique playthrough that you're going to remember forever. And then you can, if you share your content online, it's something that people can be inspired by and see it and think, oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that before.
Fairest prices and the highest quality in Skyrim.
My stomach just growled really hard. We got another 30 minutes here. I got to start thinking about what I'm going to eat and get completely distracted from what else it is I am doing. Okay, well, it's daylight. Probably don't want to do too much infiltration
Buy some armor and live to tell
at the moment. But
Gems, potions,
at least we can do some stakeouts. And if we find... I think this is Mercer's house right over here, right? And if we find the opportunity... to make a move, we'll do so. Okay, we have Nura over here. Shaman Triumvirate vendor worshipping Talos. We should be hidden from her. Oh, we have the old thief, the gray cow. This guy, he faked it. He's playing possum out here in the snow in his undies for several days now. Unless he just has a lookalike dummy body to put down there. Okay, we have a human guard dog over here patrolling the area. And I think we also have a regular guard patrol that comes around the perimeter here from time to time. And if I remember correctly, he comes from this direction. Everyone will have their own thumbprint of play-in mods. Well, yeah, people who care about customization will. Well, play-in mods, definitely. But yeah, with Wabbajack, Magus and I were talking on the Discord about the pros and cons of the Lore Rim pack. And love it or hate it, there are a ton of people playing that mod pack on Wabbajack. So it kind of puts everybody on an equal footing as far as what mods you're playing and everything, and it'll get you there sooner than doing it on your own. But then the way that they have that one set up is there are a lot of different ways to play even just that mod pack. So even if you're using the exact same mods as somebody else, you're likely going to have a different playthrough. And even on the vanilla game, that's the way too. Like if you watch Slack's Pure Argonian playthrough and then you watch Boon 23's Pure Argonian, they're very different. Very, very different. It's kind of fascinating to see how people treat this game differently. Is it this guy that comes over and patrols? I'm trying to get out ahead of this guard popping up on me while I'm trying to pick this lock, you know? I must look at the lore room list. I mean, you gotta say what you like, though. Can't like everything. Well, yeah, they're gonna have their preferences, sure. Yeah, gave it a go yesterday. Played around 6 hours total on 3 profiles. Tossed it right in the trash after. Looks great. Not well optimized. Had a few CTDs on each profile. High spec PC here. Yeah, I started on the ultra profile. The performance was fine, but I had stability issues, and I'm on a 4090 with a 900K processor. So kind of an older processor, but it's still very high spec processor. And I got a few crashes on the ultra one, but performance was fine. Stability was not. And then I went down to the next, whatever was, it was either the high performance profile or it was medium or whatever is the one under ultra. And I didn't have a crash at all after that, but I did have very, very long loading times. And there were a few instances where I loaded into the game and certain assets just didn't load. Yeah, it was a mess. There's a pause on load screen alternative that he uses so that you don't get attacked while you're stuck in that load screen for a few seconds after you load into a new area. And I don't know if that was causing it. But wait here, Zora. But yeah, there were a couple times when I loaded up the game and just things were not working correctly. Oh shit, I need to get that thing figured out. Oh, there's that guard. I fucking knew it. You son of a jerk. Zora, please don't trigger him. Okay, good.
Nothing here after all.
After that, down to a minute. Yeah, I was waiting several minutes every time I loaded the game up from MO2. So that made me wonder if maybe I put something on my slower HDD that I shouldn't. I thought I just had...
I heard something.
Oh shit, are you just straight up gonna fight me here? I didn't even enter your property, dude. Guards, you gonna help me over here? I'm gonna get one shot by this guy.
What are you doing?
Somebody help! Someone do something. Should be good. Help, please.
You see, went for that big, slow overhand right haymaker that I very telegraphed.
You're dead! Dead!
I'm staying out.
Oh, not a one shot, but definitely didn't feel good. Whoa! Thank you, Zora.
Just give up.
You can animation, if you have TK dodge, you can animation cancel the reload animation. And get much faster shots out. Obviously, I'm having accuracy issues here, but I don't think I have the slow time perk in my Eagle Eye yet. But yeah, if you do have TK dodge, you can vastly increase the attack rate of your crossbows by TK dodging out of your reload animation. Pro tip.
That should take care of them.
What a bloody mess. God, we had to hit him with like 8 different bolts, and Zora with her greatsword slicing him up. Tough dude. And nobody else even cared that I come running out here with this dude. I guess they're used to people with thieves' attire getting chased around by people trying to kill him in this city, huh? Well, we didn't want to have to kill Vald. I guess we triggered him after we set off that mechanism to lower that ramp. But whatever. Bloody indeed. Bloody enough for you, outsider. To be fair, Lore Rim's graphics are nice, but also too many needless overwrites once I started looking into the files themselves. Interesting. Yeah, if I'm doing a Wabbajack, I'm not spending my time looking into conflicts and stuff. So that was somebody else's job. This is also, I think, the 3.0. So he will be doing updates and stuff. There might be some stuff in there that he's still going to fix and tweak, but that maybe not. I don't know. I have not taken the time to look into it. But if I had to choose between Lorem and Nulvis, you'd choose Lorem just based on the way it looks. I don't like all the other, like all the MCO overhauls and stuff. I'm not a fan of that. I like the vanilla style Skyrim action a little better. And I don't know if Nulvis has taken that on. I know when I installed Nulvis, it wanted me to do the Impa Sekiro combat overhaul, which I think still mainly stays with vanilla as a base.
The importance of an island just one last time.
Slow and steady. Get downstairs, get into the kitchen there.
One picking pockets. Now that's the real art. No rough stuff.
Stay in the dark, stay in the shadows.
Don't sound like much fun though.
Hopefully my tail doesn't knock anything off of any shelves. Things whipping around. Okay, right in here I think is where I need to go.
I'm gonna start keeping a knife in my boot. Tired of getting disarmed. Lying little harlot. That brat
Suspicious
ain't mine.
cabinet, here we go.
Anyone's.
Oh, I do have Night Eye. I just realized it's not a power, but it is, it's a necklace. Bone Amulet of the Long Night. There we go. It's Hunterborn. Take those shoes too. I'll sell those to Tonelia later. Based on the fact it's actually curated good, Nulvis's community is toxic. Yeah, I never engaged with the community. I just walked through the guide and then tore everything apart and put the things in that I wanted. And then stuck with that for 5 years. Never been happier.
Just the orc that frown
and bid the elf goodbye.
Once I get through, I do want to add some mods. New modding profile, I think. Ah, shit. How am I gonna get through this? I don't have Whirlwind Sprint. I don't have Become Ethereal.
To just hand over the gold. But did he listen?
Do I have any potions of Resist Fire? I think that I do. I don't have the Lightfoot perk either. So I'm gonna trigger all this bullshit when I walk through it. Resist Fire. 13%. It's something. Stop, drop, and roll, or just go drop and roll. Okay, that was alright. Oh, shit. God damn it. I'm a terrible thief. Ouch! My hotkeys are not working because I died. Damn it. Okay. What hotkey is it that I need to reset up here? Health potion is 2.
Said she'd wait for me.
Oh man, that poison really is hurting. And Argonians are supposed to be resistant, right? Oh, there are all kinds of mod packs, even unofficial ones. Okay, I gotta be careful here. Just top it off.
Use your smarts, he said. Yeah, like I'm supposed to figure out which college he meant.
Man, that trap really hurt. Okay. So I need to get past these swinging blades, and I need to take cover over there in that right little nook. And I need to do so without getting hit by that ramrod there. There we go. She's an agile lizard, that's for sure. .2.0 worked better than 3.0. Yeah, I only used 2.0, and that for me at least was more stable than what Magus was saying. He added a bunch of stuff in. I think he probably was rushing a little faster than he needed to get 3.0 out the door before the end of the year. I think he had like some kind of I don't know, donation drive or something that if they hit like a certain amount of money that he would release it early, or not early, but by the end of the year. And of course they hit that because that community over there is huge. But that probably led him to rushing things out. And this is also going to be his last version of Lore Rim. He's at least said that there's not going to be any 4.0, that this was going to be the last kind of major version of it, and then it was just going to be fixes and optimizations after that. So he might end up making it better. I probably should have saved that skill book, but sneak is kind of easy to come by with this character. And of course, got to get chill rend. So I don't know if there's a way to go back to 2.0 at this point or not, maybe. But if you didn't like 3.0, I don't see that you're going to like 2.0 all that much either. Yeah, me either. I mean, that's effectively what happens in the industry too, right? They create too much hype for something, especially with Kickstarters and stuff like that, and then instead of slowing down and doing something right, they end up getting pressure from shareholders and things like that to put the thing out. people who have already paid the money, and then now they're like between a rock and a hard place where, okay, we got to put this out, but it's going to piss them off because... Oh shit. Should not have done that. So now they're pushing out something that's going to piss everybody off because all those people who are pissed paid them money for that bad product. But I think it's a good thing that he's... I got to do all this shit over again, don't I? I think it's a good thing that he's said, at least, that they're not going to be another major version, so that now he can focus on just optimizing and fixing all the problems with the current one. That being said, a lot of people are happily playing it in its current form. And I don't think it's lack of like knowledge or lack of skills on his part. It's all he knows what he's doing. He wouldn't have been able to put all that stuff together and get it to work in any form without having a great amount of skill and everything. So I'm sure he's capable of getting it fixed. It's just going to take time. Oh, got hit by some fire there. Still got to reset up my damn hotkeys again, don't I? Watch out for that one this time. I feel bad spending a perk point on the light foot perk.
No rough stuff. Just take it and go. It don't sound like much fun though.
Because I feel like if I'm just careful, I can avoid everything. But there are certain situations, especially here, where it's obviously worth it to have it. And also, I think with better jumping, I have the double jump hooked up to Lightfoot as well, which just gives it a little more utility, makes it more worth it to take that perk. So that's a consideration. Although I don't know if I want to do double jumps with this. This kind of will... It kind of eliminates the identity of the acrobat as opposed to the thief, you know? I'd like to keep those two separate. There we go. Just missed that, and I got to the point of no return there. Seems like a good though. Yeah, I mean, he has his moments. Anybody who tries to run a community of that size for as long as he has is going to get grumpy. He's going to have a short trigger or a short fuse. And that grumpiness will actually trigger when you least expect it. But when he's treated right, he's a pretty good dude overall, I would say. From what I've seen, I haven't really directly interacted with him much. I don't know him personally. I installed his Wabbajack once, and I joined his Discord just to, you know, learn how to play the list a little bit. Yeah, the whole pressure of hitting deadlines and stuff. Video games are primarily... There's a lot of technical stuff to it, and of course the business guys have come and turned it into big business, but primarily where the rubber meets the road and how people create video games, it's an artistic medium. It's an artistic platform. And if you're assigning too much business to the art, you're going to start getting compromised results, especially with video games and deadlines. That's like the number one killer of video games is the business imposing harsh deadlines. And also it's like it goes the other way too. It's like the business is putting hundreds of millions of dollars into this game, and now you're asking for another year to work on this thing. It's probably going to cost us another $50 million just to pay everybody to work on this game for another year before we can sell it and get some of our money back. I mean, I can understand that too. But yeah, it's an unfortunate reality. There's probably a better way to do it. I am not really an artist, and I'm not really a business guy either, so I don't know what that better way is, but I feel like there's got to be something better than what we're doing now. Last minute requests will get last minute result. Yeah, that's been a thing in the software industry for a very long time, is changing requirements. And sometimes the world changes, the demand changes, so you have to change the requirements. But when you do that and you derail all of your engineers and all the people working on your software project, that is the by far the number one cause of missed deadlines and budgets. Is changing what your product is supposed to do midway through creating that project. All right, what are we doing? We need to talk to Brynjolf. All right, back into the flagon. Knives. Hello. Oh, it's about time for a nap. I think I want a cheeseburger for late lunch, early dinner. And then I can have some chicken nuggets or something later on. When I get hungry late at night because of my 2:30 lunch, heavy lunch, I gotta get a cheeseburger. I've been good all week. Eating factor meals and doing home prep. I think I've earned a big greasy burger. And the pup loves some French fries, and she can have those. She'll be happy. Maybe I'll take her through a McDonald's drive-thru or something. Man, I'm hungry. But then I also need a nap, and then I am also due for a gym session. Need to go do some bench press and some squats. Some time on the treadmill. Okay, what are we doing here? Bryn, where are you, buddy? Oh, there he is. He's over at Mercer's desks. Fish and chips for me tonight, and mushy peas. Okay.
We've scoured the town, and I've spoken to every contact we have left. No sign of Mercer. Any luck on your end?
Okay, I like fish and chips. I'm a big fan of fish and chips.
Shore's beard. He's going after the eyes of the
Had some really good fish and chips at the Oakland Coliseum.
Gets his hands on them.
Home of the Athletics, which they were in just even as recent as a few years ago when I went to see him. Really terrible stadium, but there's a lot of history there with the Bash Brothers and when the A's were doing their whole thing, which is a really big deal for a kid in the 90s that was playing baseball in Little League and stuff. So being able to kind of revisit some of my childhood by going to that stadium was really cool. And they had some good fish and chips there. Also a very scary part of town, Oakland is. That was one of my favorite stories from that trip because we did San Diego, and then we went up to San Francisco and we watched the Giants at Oracle Stadium there, and then we went to Oakland Coliseum to see the A's. You know, downtown San Francisco is obviously pretty posh, and Oracle Stadium's very, very new and renovated and had all the modern amenities and everything. And then we talked about how San Diego, the Petco Stadium experience was like one of my favorites ever. And then we went to Oakland. And it was just this rundown neighborhood in the middle of, you know, California. There's all kinds of violent crime in that area, and everybody knows it. And it's like going into the stadium. All stadiums have metal detectors and everything, but this was more like there were like security, like police officers everywhere for security, and they were like patting everybody down for like hidden weapons and stuff. And then once you get through the security checkpoint and into the stadium area, which is more like a prison compound at this point with how controlled everything is, it was souvenir baseball bat day. So they're giving everybody weapons. They're checking for outside weapons and then giving everybody their standard weapon of how you're going to beat somebody to death. So I don't know. That was pretty funny to me. Souvenir baseball bat day for the first 5,000 people in. Check everybody for weapons and then hand out a weapon. Yeah, they're getting their stadium built in Vegas right now. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, they're bad area. Nobody wanted to put any money into a stadium at that in that neighborhood. Wildlander was the last Wabbajack list I used and actually liked that one. That was a huge list too. That was like one of those 5,000 plus mod ones. To have that well put together, that's cool. And I think that was Requiem based as well. Was it? I don't remember. But Lorem seems like the big one, the Requiem based one that people are using. Living Skyrim was another one that was Requiem based that people were using a lot. No, it's not a ghost city. It's just a lot of crime, a lot of poverty. But it was still an enjoyable visit. Like I said, there's a lot of history. It was a nostalgia trip for me, just seeing where I saw all those World Series, and Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire were just complete national heroes before it turned out that they were juicing. But at that time, they were as close as you could get to superheroes. So I still had like a lot of feels tied up in that place, and just to be able to go there and sit and watch a baseball game in that place, it was really cool. Even if the neighborhood was kind of crappy. Wildlander's only like 500 mods? I thought that was a ton. I thought Wildlander was like the first one that had like thousands of mods. Maybe not. 500, that's a good amount. I've said before, I'm at like, I don't know, 740 with my sort of customized Nulvis one here. And Nulvis has a lot more than that. I've ripped everything out. I've kind of done the racing overhaul for this thing. I set my Dindalod settings like way lower than what Nulvis did, because I don't really care about screen archery that much. So I set my shadows in the Bethany settings, the shadow distance to really low as well. Ripped out a bunch of mods and compatibility patches that I didn't care about. A lot of city overhauls, a lot of interior overhauls, things like CACO, crafting overhauls, stuff like that. I didn't care about it. And then I started putting in some of the gameplay stuff that I wanted, and then started adding in some of the weapons and armor things that I wanted. And yeah, it ended up around like 740, I think. But I think if I were to start over and just put the stuff that I needed in, I feel like I could get it around 100. I feel like I get it around 100 and be happy with what I have. Don't want thousands of mods, just hundreds of good quality. Yeah. And for as much as people love Lorem, that was like it was a learning curve. It was a huge learning curve for me, and it wasn't just because of Requiem, but that guy, he added a lot of new game mechanics outside of Requiem. Biggie did to the Lorem stuff. So it's like there are new systems all over the place. There's like there's a bestiary that's a big part of that. The traits system, the character creation, which I actually did like, but a lot of the leveling and stuff too, I didn't really know how to engage with. And then just the way that all of those dungeons and enemies were overhauled, even Bleak Falls Barrows or even Embershard Mine, trying to take that on at level 2 or 3 was a near impossibility. It was so hard. There's so much stuff that you have to do before you're like combat ready for one of those deep dungeons. If it were like a vanilla Embershard Mine, I would have been able to take care of it fine just using tactics and things like that. But because of how many new and high level enemies were added to those interior overhauls, it was like a completely new game to learn almost. ChatGPT is saying ChatGPT does a very bad job with numbers, FYI. So I wouldn't trust it if you're asking it to count anything. AI in general has been very bad about counting in math. 608. There you go. Remember how Wildlander was freezing on me all the time? Well, now it's loading up normally until I get the indifferent error. At least loading up until that point. Wasn't far off, yeah. Even a broken watch is right twice a day, right? All right, well, I think, did we talk to Brynjolf already? I think I did. Yeah, I might actually redo all this stuff off stream because I took Magicka attributes when I was trying to show off the perks that I had and the plans I had for the build. And I had meant to reload that quick save from before I leveled up, and I didn't. So I'll have to redo all this stuff because I can't abide Magicka on a thief. That's just wasted attribute points. And I'm extremely squishy, right? We've seen a few one-shots and just everything's very tense right now. So putting a few more points into health would be great. And when I do get that second rank of steady hand, the slow time is going to really eat up a lot of stamina as well. All right. So I think I'm done, guys. Thanks for putting up with me and my technical issues that I had earlier. I don't know why the ingest speeds are so low, or what's going on with my uploads here, but I'll have to look into it. Hopefully, I can get that fixed for the next one. If they pay me, I might. Here you go. Yep. All right. Everybody take care. Take a look at the links in the description below. A lot of people in the same communities. You'll see a lot of us in the same places there. So if you have more hunger for Skyrim and Skyrim community, take a look there. I also do have a Discord that I opened up. I think the link is in the description as well. I will double check that right now. And I need the other one here. Live stream. Edit. So if you wanted to carry on these conversations there, feel free to do that. I do not have... Yeah, I do. Discord link right underneath the first line of the description there. So if you want to go join, go ahead. A lot of the same people, so I wouldn't go out of your way to join if you are already part of the various other Discords that, we talk to each other on. But you can if you want. I think that's it, guys. Take care, everybody. All right? And I will see you next week. Take it easy. Gonna eat a cheeseburger.